we are for the top-up show at RANDWICK. A beautiful morning. Paul Daly's again's been kind enough to join us.
The highwayman, they call him.
G'day, Mark Lamble. Is he the highwayman?
Morning, Paul, boys. The highwayman daily.
Oh, you were last week? Yeah, beautiful. What's going on, Mark? The boys, but they don't wear socks anymore. They look stupid. Their shorts go to half up their shin, no socks. I hate this fucking look.
You are an old guy, aren't you? As
soon
as you start saying that stuff.
That means you're gone?
Gone.
It does look ridiculous.
Seems to look ridiculous, but that's the sign of an old person.
How do the chicks dig that? Like fucking idiots.
Well,
maybe you're right. Maybe just old.
Yeah. Speaking of old, this meeting's fairly old. It's run on a true rail today. The weather conditions appear benign, and we're
beautiful day. No one here. Chipping Nortons. What's going on? No one's here.
It's early.
Okay.
The first race isn't until nearly 1 o'clock.
It's good to be wings free.
Bloody oath. Yeah, rail back in the true, and I can't find any reason to suspect a bias at this stage. Are you of that persuasion, Paul?
Yeah, I don't think there's any bias, and you'll be able to come from forward or back, pace dependent. Should play fair.
In race 1, Kay O'Hara can't ride All About Me, so they've put Glyn on it, 2 kilos overweight. It's extraordinary, isn't it?
Well, they're making the rules up as they go along here.
Must be. Anyway, depth that varies is an overnight firmer, as is Look Only. Look Only's into 750, so it's the most significant firmer in the race. Paul, the highwayman daily, are you staying out of this one?
Look, it depends on. Look, Glamour Cat is clearly the best form, or the last start figure in my opinion, but it's got a pretty tricky gate to overcome.
It's also got to overcome Tom Waterhouse's bet of the day.
Is it? Oh fuck.
I'm not sure if it's a bet of the day, I just know it's a Tommy bet.
2 starts ago it got owned by All In War. What's the story, Paul?
Yeah, it...
All In War started at 7 to 4, it was 15 to 4.
Yeah.
Beat it own. Why is everyone so keen on Glamour Cat? It's got fucking none, isn't it?
Well, no, I don't think so. If you took that last start figure, you'd say, well, it deserves to be favourite here, clearly.
Yeah, but that's the last start figure
but that's all
on a hot rail at Canterbury.
Yeah, so it was a bit flattered, and that's the worry. And it's a pretty weak race. Look, I've got it. I thought Luff, All In War are chances, but you know, obviously one's coming off a 27-day break, the other one's 91 days resuming. So lots of queries.
You're allowed to be fresh.
Yeah, you're allowed to be fresh, but I mean.
Have a listen to me and Lamble. We're just attacking here, but we're fresh. You've done 5 meetings this week. You're all stale. Fucking 18,000 drinks and 5 meetings. Me and Lamble are going, well, you're a fucking idiot, Daly. We know what's going on here.
You're probably right on that.
Moving right along, I think
tough race.
Yeah, it is a tough race. Mark, I mentioned Luff yesterday in the show, but I'm warming to 90. I'm really warming to 90.
That's All In War.
All In War.
Race 2, and Stella Pauline is on the drift. Harmonium has been supported, and especially the stablemate of Stella Pauline, Tilia Rose, who resumes here 900 up to 1200. What about this race, Paul?
I got Tilia Rose favourite.
Okay, well that explains a lot then, doesn't it? And were you able to? Did you get busy on Wednesday afternoon or not?
No.
No. Okay. It's just that it is the biggest firmer in the race. And any comment on the favourite? Current favourite. Who knows what you're going to do soon?
I couldn't possibly have it. Look, I got it with 92.
Yeah, look, I think the interesting thing is that if you do look at if you are a ratings to win subscriber, you'll be quite interested in how the Millions races are assessed, because obviously they're high prize money races, but they're not necessarily high quality races. So. You know, Stella Pauline perhaps doesn't have the figure that other people perceive she has.
Yeah, and I think it was a bit like Away Game when Away Game came down here and
it won its last race.
It won its last race.
Yeah, it'll never win another race.
Yeah.
Its last race.
Yeah. Its last ever race, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And the figures weren't as good as what probably some people make out, I think. But look, Harmonium's probably second pick for me here.
It's an interesting runner. Glenn, have you got any clarity on this race, or are you still with the favourite?
You know, I've warmed overnight to Harmonium, and the favourite hard to beat. I'm Harmonium the favourite. What an interesting game it is. I mean, Tilia Rose, I'll fucking only get a job driving buses if it wins.
It's really hard to assess because it's that 900 run up, but look, the time in the sectional was good, and
I've got to be a bit more wary of it instead of jumping in, laying.
I don't know if I'd be laying it, but I think the market, you know, the actual real market, will give us a really good guide, especially late on its chances.
Interestingly, in race 3, there's been no real action. You know, Prague remains around about the place it was. And look, this is another interesting race. Paul, have you got any comment on this before you suggest what you may or may not back? Have you got any comment on this unraced horse that of Snowden's that won the 10-50 metre trial with blinkers?
Yes,
Argentius.
I backed it this morning. So to win 5 figures. So to me, it should be a lot shorter. Getting a line through the horses it's trialled against and what they've been able to do, and just the fact that it does have the shades on. And I think that's positive with Snowden.
I suppose it did beat up
a 2-year-old, and look, I think Prague is. I got a favourite, but I couldn't take 6 to 4. I think Postcode's a chance, fresh. I'm really against AIM. I think it's the weak link. I've marked it 15 to 1.
And because
I've given it its best figure, and I've got it 15 to 1.
Look, I've got it long as well, but Gord made the point that it's in the wrong lane at the Gold Coast, and prior to that, it's got a devastating win over Stella Pauline. We'll get a line on Stella Pauline in race 2 at this course and distance. So it scares the shit out of me, AIM. I'm interested that you're against it as well.
Yeah. For me, it's Argentus. Good result.
Glenn?
I like AIM. I'm just opposite P. Daly today.
Yeah, well, I'm jaded.
You know why? It's February the 29th. We've only ever seen 2 race meetings on February two Saturday meetings on February the 29th in our lifetime.
In our lifetime?
Yeah, they come around every 28 years.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
So,
Mark, we need a break here. Hey, boys.
Look,
Hi,
come on, guys. How you going?
No disrespect, but do you guys have any accreditation to have the video camera today?
Navesh Ramdani.
Navesh is Lindsay Murphy said we could. Everyone says we're sweet all the time. We didn't get a letter off their mummy, but besides that, I think we're sweet.
Oh, we're just asking a question.
Dad told us to come and see you guys. So yeah.
But we spoke to Lindsay maybe 6 years ago. We've been doing this show for about 6 years on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And he said, sweet, love it, because you create turnover. And then when Navesh took over, we know Navesh well, and he said, sweet, keep going. So that's what we're up to.
What's your name, sir?
Glenn.
We're the middle of the
Pollitt.
Pollitt. Okay.
Yeah, and Mark. They know about us.
They should.
I've got a gentleman named Glenn Pollitt.
Are we still
Come on
recording?
the show. We're still recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still recording. This is exciting.
Given authorisation, the guys have been here every race, mate.
6 years.
6 years.
We've been to the show.
No, as I said,
No, I'm trying to help you.
offence, we're just making sure.
No offence taken, mate. Do your job. Do your
No
job.
worries. All right, back to this.
No offence ever taken.
You're aiming up here, Glenn, aren't you?
Thanks, guys.
So,
Righto, mate.
Of course you tipped Dame, he's not happy about it.
Anyway, this is another
going good,
fascinating race where
How good do they go, these guys? Wow.
hope you enjoyed that little interlude there.
Yeah, it was fun.
I think we should move on to race 4. The
I just want to say Glenn. I thought Glenn would be enough. I should say Glenn Star.
Is that with an R on the end?
No, TA.
right.
STA.
The Liverpool City Cup has migrated to RANDWICK over the past few years, and this is another intriguing addition. Obviously, we're keen to get to see this imaging that Chris has got picked up from Ireland, and I suppose Rock is returning, Quackerjack returning. Gord was a bit soft on Quackerjack off its trials. What are you saying here, Paul?
Look, I think the imaging is, I think everyone's pretty happy with it. As a horse, to me, it's more of a wet tracker than me. I could have it sort of 11 to 4, and I could have it 14s.
Yeah, okay, right.
I thought the trial was pretty good. Look, I've got Cascadian favourite.
Come on. You
There
can't,
goes.
come on, now you've got to stop.
No.
I'm counting you out. 1, 2, 3.
Well,
It's
I'm
fucking none.
going to pop one here, Rock.
Well, Rock will beat home Cascadian every other week.
Well, look, I'm not convinced.
I can't believe we're so different. This is ridiculous.
I can't believe it either, but
Anyway, that makes racing, that
Yeah.
makes betting, it does. You know,
Glenn Boss is riding Cascadian. Did anyone catch him on Miss Scorcher in the last race last night?
yeah, I had something on it.
He never touched it. It got beaten this far. I looked at the races are calling. Bang, bang, bang. G-Boss, unbackable at this time of the year. There's something wrong with him.
This is a quality handicap. I mean, surely he's going to be trying.
He's always trying, but there's a difference of intent.
Yes, indeed.
Intent's different. It's like,
How did you think that horse came back? Because I think you gave it a good rap.
gave it a good rap, but don't you think it didn't chase through the line? It's the worst form we've ever seen.
Well, I think there was a big on-pace bias there the other day, and I think it
That's
overcame
2 weeks
that.
ago, so
We've
we were
seen Ruby Regent 4.5 lengths away, get beaten at Katoomba during the week.
I know, but
There's
I
no form.
don't think the ride I don't think the jockey made good decisions at Newcastle.
Okay. I'm not having a go at your problem. I just can't believe everything you've said. I'm 100% the opposite.
let's
what a
keep-
great game
Well,
this
one
is.
of us is going to have some money.
Once someone's going to win some. Well, you'll still have money. I might run into some. That's all it means.
Okay, race 5. Real 'em in Ruby is to be ridden more positively. Is anyone falling off their chair over that after the?
Not really. How can you back it?
Sweet Deal into 250. It's all roads to the favourite.
All race the favourite, probably hard to beat, but how can you back it? You can't possibly back it. 250. It was 30s last start and we didn't want to back it.
Paul,
Goes from Nash to
you
Shin.
playing this race?
I'm against it. I've marked Sweet Deal 5-1, so
Okay.
I'm pretty hard against it. And Real 'em in Ruby, I've got to be against it too. I've got it 9-1. Look, the horse I think, and I'm really keen to get Glenn's thoughts on this, is the Waterhouse horse.
Kind of Patiro.
To see how, and I think very much the race hinges on.
It looks a beautiful setup for this horse, especially with T. Clark. Like, she hasn't gone to Hieronymus, she's gone straight to Clark. Gone to the A rider.
Maybe this is the one we should both be backing.
This is the one I like.
Leave all the others and just go here.
We're finally holding hands, darling. Took all fucking day.
All right, first of the Group 1s, first of 2 Group 1s, and Flit is into 290. All dogs are barking Flit. There doesn't seem to be any love for Funstar, and a strong suggestion that Funstar will not be ridden
Positively?
positively. Yeah. Paul, what do you say about this surround stakes?
I'm saying that I like Flit, but I'm just a little concerned with the gate. It could be a problem for it, but I'm hoping it gets in there, sort of midfield.
Old Man Bowman, apparently he's on song at the moment.
He's a bit on song in this top race.
Funstar's definitely the second pick, and it's the one that probably scares me more than any other horse here. I'm against Probabile at the odds, and Liar's a chance also.
It doesn't sound like you found a bet.
Probably Flit, but want to get
Split
something.
looks very hard to beat to me. We're on tune now, we're on song now, Paul. We're sweet.
I'm in the Funstar camp, and it's just me and Warren from Warren, and that's it.
It's got none.
Right, the Chipping Norton, Happy Clapper to be ridden outside the lead. Homesman, I mentioned on the show yesterday, has had a throat operation, and Dreamforce is into 440, so it's the overnight firmer. Tiako Shark a little bit soft. This is an interesting map race, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, look, Tiako Shark is obviously the best horse, but it's got a pretty sticky map for me. I've given it pretty much its best, and I've got it 5-1. So look, I'm gambling against it, but it wouldn't surprise me if it won.
Yep.
Dreamforce, look, I can see why a lot of people are going to like it. I don't like Blake as a rider at the moment. I mean, he's just out of form, but
He could be in a very confusing spot here today, Blake. It's going to be so interesting.
Yeah,
if
he could easily win.
Yeah, he's on the two firms, isn't he? Sweet Deal and Dreamforce.
He's on the horses that you don't want to anchor drop on, that you're going to lead right. An interesting day for Blake. I can't wait to watch him ride.
look, for me, I think the race revolves around Homesman and where it's at. So it'll be interesting to see how forward it is first up. And Fierce Impact and Avilius are solid chances, so this race is up for grabs.
Glenn, have you got anything else to say about the feature, the Chipping Norton, the Winks-free race?
Oh, I'm back to my old ways. I think Blake will get the job done there on the lead of Dreamforce. I think it's a good bet at 440.
The penultimate, Chains of Honour, the 3-year-old with the unusual preparation, is a firmer, overnight firmer, as is Think It Over, which I mentioned on the show yesterday, is not being optimised at Canterbury last start by Jay Ford. What about this race, Paul?
You know, I backed Think It Over last start. I've got pretty much the market at the moment.
Yep.
You've got to think it over.
Yeah, exactly. Chains of Honour, Mount Tabor and Costello, they're the most solid chances to me. Even though Attorney ran well the other day, I'm against it.
And Gord's tip, Elwendo. Gord's got a real soft spot for
I'm
Elwendo.
against it too.
Glenn,
No comment from that race.
$33 to Glenn there for that race.
$7.33.
And the Nightcap Trumbull is the firmer, into $4.20. Yet to displace Royal Celebration as favourite, however. What about this one? This it could be an interesting pace scenario in this race with Roman Wolf and or Goldfinch.
Yeah, I've got Goldfinch leading Roman Wolf. Royal Celebration, I was a bit disappointed in it the other day. I expected it to do better than what it did, but it was...
So you're saying that it raced outside the lead, but outside the lead was fine because of the way the track was playing?
I thought so, but it's also against what this probably horse would normally do over the distance the other day. So look, I've got Trumbull on top from Royal Celebration and Yamaski, who was in the worst part of the track, but it's had that 6-7 weeks off, and
Yep.
so it'd just be interesting to see what they do.
It's funny, Gord said Yamazaki should have beaten in and up by 4 lengths there at Kensington first up. You remember you said that yesterday, Glenn? So I put that race as an overlay on our preview show, and I watched it and I went, what the hell did he see that I can't see? Anyway,
I couldn't see it.
yet again, its beauty is in the eye of the beholder as when it comes to racing, and
And in that last race, I just want to mention, I'm tipping Asharani each way because you two boys vetoed me from putting it in the quaddie for our quaddie people. They said, no, leave that out, Polly, you're a fucking idiot, so I've made an each way moral.
you beauty. And this is certainly a day, this is a contradictory day. I suppose it's February the 29th, we don't often get to see that day, particularly on a Saturday race day, as I mentioned before. And it's been a controversial top-up show, as well as a controversial preview show yesterday. Most importantly, for $29 a week, you get a lot of content from Racing Rant. You're getting even more content than you've been used to if you've already been a member. And you get the first 2 weeks free if you've never tried us before. If you're mad not to come and look at all the things we have to offer, 4 shows a week and lots of other content, including mounting guard mail and price assessments.
And the chat room.
And the chat room, which is
It's all happening this side, it's getting bigger and bigger.
it is bigger than Ben-Hur. So come and check us out, please. Just
2 weeks, first 2 weeks for free, guys. Just come and have a look.
see what you think, and we'd love to hear your thoughts as
Thanks,
well.
Paul, for coming on the show too, mate.
That's right. Thanks, Paul.
See you.
Bye.